Hello, friends. I am back with another tier list to delight, to shock, to infuriate the masses. This is a particularly unhinged and also spicy one. In this tier list, I'll be ranking all the Nancy Drew characters based on how dateable I think they are, so they should be fun and maybe a bit too personal, but I signed up for this. This was my idea, so I gotta live with that. Well, let me walk you through, first of all, my tiers. At the bottom, we've got not into bestiality. Thanks. Did I spell bestiality wrong? No. Google just doesn't recognize bestiality, apparently. Me neither. One step up from that is a literal child. I feel like these two categories are self-explanatory. These are two types of beings I would not date. One up from there is blocked. These are for the detestable human beings who I would not consider even if we were the last two people on Earth. If Earth had been atom bombed to death and we were just sitting in a crater together, I would leave. I would jump off the Earth. Thanks, rather than date them. Above that, we've got swipe right, which is quite a marked step down. It's more like if I saw them on Tinder, I would not swipe left. I would not be interested. One up from there is people I would friend zone, people I would like, but not necessarily date. I'm placing them firmly in the friend zone, in the literal friend zone. This is the friend zone. This tier right here. One up from that, we've got swipe left. The reverse of swipe right. If I saw them on Tinder, I'd be like, oh, hey, this person looks interesting, sure. Above that, we've got a special category for PILFs and GILFs. Mom, if you're watching this, please don't look that up. People who know, you know. And then at the very top, we've got dream date. These are like my ultimate dream dates. It's pretty self-explanatory. I did consider putting in like a sugar parent category, like a I want to be their sugar baby category, but I thought it would be kind of redundant along with the PILF and GILF category, but maybe I'll address those things if they come up. As always, these are just my opinions. I'm not saying these are the ultimate correct opinions. In fact, I would love to hear your opinion. I would love to hear who you would most like to date out of all the Nancy Drew games. Out of all of them, who would you be like, yes, that's the one I'm picking out of a crowd and asking them to elope on the spot? So this should be fun. This should be a wild ride. We'll see how this goes. So let's just buckle up and let's get into it. The first one who pops up is, of course, Shorty, because we gotta start somewhere. Might as well start with Shorty. Well, Shorty is not my shawty, and you know what? I would block Shorty. He scares me. I don't want Shorty to know my address. I don't want him to know my number. I don't want him to know any identifying details about me. And then, right after that, is Linda from Curse of Blackmore Manor. Yeah, I'm not into bestiality, thanks. Then we have Laura Gerard, flawless fashion icon. Laura Gerard, flawless is probably not accurate. She does have some flaws. But honestly, I don't think Lori would make a good romantic partner. I really don't. I think she would be flaky. I don't think she would give as much as she would get. And I think, relationships are based on, or should be based on, like, mutual respect and, mutual givings and takings. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. Anyway, the long and short of it is I would swipe right on Laura. You know what? Actually, I'm placing Laura in the friend zone. I think she'd be a very fun friend. I feel like she'd be one of those friends who'd be like, fuck it, we're flying to Paris today. Get in, bitch. Or like, let's go bungee jumping. I want the paparazzi to get a shot of me being a cool, daring, adventurous girl. Let's go bungee jumping for the paparazzi. And I'd be like, okay, Laura, I'm there. She'd pay for it all with her daddy's money, so that would be great. I think Laura would be a fun friend. But that's not what we're here for. We're not here to make friends. We're here to date some folks, and we haven't found any yet. Tino Balducci is also blocked. I would preemptively block Tino. Next we have JJ Ling from Danger by Design. Honestly, dream date. Get you a girl who can cook, I say, who's also a gorgeous fashion model, who can probably speak French, who owns a cute little apartment in Paris, who loves Hangman. What more could you want in a woman? Next we got Dieter von Schwester Crank. I don't like his face, to be quite honest. His face perturbs me. So I'm swiping right on Dieter. I don't trust him either. There's quite a few men in the Nancy Drew games I don't trust, including this little slime ball, this creep, this Dr. Buford. He's trying to flirt with a 18-year-old girl young enough to be his daughter. I'm talking about Bess, by the way. The way he talks to her is not okay. Next we have Renee from Crystal Skull. She just doesn't do it for me. I agree she's iconic. I don't know why I said I agree like you just said, but she's iconic. You know, I agree. She is iconic. But maybe she's just a bit too old for me. If she was old and had a lot of money, maybe I'd think twice. But, you know, literally the plot of Crystal Skull is the fact that she wants more money. She doesn't have enough money. So maybe after you get that Crystal Skull, Renee. I don't know if it's likely, though. Kit from Haunting Castle Malloy is wanting me to put in an additional category, which is like problematic faves, red flags that I'm gonna be colorblind to. That kind of category. I mean, oh my god, I might have to just put him up into Dream Date. I don't think Kit is the ideal man by any means, but there's something about him that I can't explain. I'm just attracted to. I'm inexplicably attracted to him. Something about a guy with a black eye, sitting on a cot. Something does it for me. I cannot explain my tastes. I acknowledge that this is bad. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna put in a new category. Pause for laughter. What should I call it? I'll just do problematic faves. I feel like there's a better phrase, but I'm not thinking of it right now. All I'm thinking about Kit and his swoon-worthy black eye. I mean, faves, again, isn't the most accurate word. Let's do a different color. You cannot read that. This color, sure. I acknowledge that Kit is not the best boy, the best man. I mean, he is the best man. No, he's not the best man. That's literally the plot of the game. He's not the best man in any sense. Okay, next we've got Abdullah from Tomb of the Lost Queen. This guy is definitely talking to women younger than him on dating apps, and not in like a charming, appealing way. I imagine him sexting in the way that the guy from Maroon 5 does. I don't think I even need to say anything more. Blocked. Okay, next we actually have Dylan, also from Tomb of the Lost Queen. Maybe he's just a bit too cocky for me. It's his like kind of fake knockoff Indiana Jones get up. Like, can you be a bit more original, Dylan? Like, can you like embrace your own personality? Maybe do some work on yourself. You know, find out who you really are instead of trying to be someone else. Trying to be a 1980s action movie star, then come back and maybe we'll talk. Okay, dude? Okay. Nico Jovic from Deadly Device. But he's no daddy device, if you know what I mean. He's not. I'm swiping right. And we're all gonna collectively forget I said that. Danal from Haunting of Castle Malloy again. Danal, what are you even doing on this dating app? I didn't even know you knew how to use a phone. I didn't even know you knew what Tinder was. That's weird. You're too old for me. Why are you looking at women my age when you are the age that you are, which is quite old, I imagine. I think he's like at least, what, 105? Taylor Sinclair! If you're out there and you would put Taylor Sinclair anywhere but the blocked category, actually, I don't want to know. I don't want to know, but I would suggest you maybe go to therapy. That would be my suggestion. Yeah, Taylor Sinclair is a walking red flag in many ways. Like, his mustache, there's red flag. Just a visual red flag. His tie, visual red flag right there. His greasy manner, his voice, he's waving all the flags. Carl from The Captive Curse. You know, I'm friend-zoning Carl. I think he's a very funny guy. I think he's a very funny, charming guy. But I'm not interested in him in that way, which is probably a good thing, because if I remember the plot of Captive Curse correctly, he really wants to be with the love of his life, who, if I remember correctly, is actually Canadian, so maybe it's me the whole time. I don't think it is. Anyway, next we have Helena from Phantom of Venice. Okay, she's another problematic fave. She's got style, okay? She's way too cool for me, first of all. She probably wouldn't even look at me, give me the time of day. She wouldn't consider me as a romantic interest at all, but I would be like fawning at her feet, even though she'd probably give me poison chocolates. on a date. That would be bad. Okay, next we've got what's his face? Ranger Acres. Oh, I do like an outdoorsy guy, I'm not gonna lie. He's just a bit too bland. I feel like I need another category where it's like, I'd go on the first date with them, and then I'd be like, you know what? Maybe he's not for me. That's how I feel about Ranger Acres. You know what? Actually, I'd give him a chance. If we're talking about just the first impressions, I would give him a chance. Although that's not really what this is about. This is about the whole package, but the way I've set up my tiers makes it seem like first impressions. So, you know, I've dug this pit for myself. You know, this is my shovel right here. I used it to dig this pit. We're here. Next, we've got Joy from Haunted Carousel. I want to say Haunting in Casa Malloy because it rhymes, but she's not from that game. I would swipe right on Joy. She's a bit too sour for me. She needs to lighten up a little, which I think she does at the end of Haunting of Casa Malloy, but my god, it's not Haunting of Casa Malloy, it's Haunted Carousel. But I don't think we really get to see her with her after her personality change. We don't see much of her, so I don't count that. Next we have Minette, and this may be a little shallow of me. We don't really see Minette's face. Actually, we see it a little, and she's kind of cute. She's kind of cute. I would swipe left on Minette, but I'd be like, can I see a picture of you without your mask on, please? Although I might find it a bit off-putting if she was on Tinder just with all these pictures with a mask covering her face. That would be a bit terrifying. I'd probably think she was like a serial killer who was going to murder me on the first date. I'd be like, well, that's an obvious serial killer. Okay, next we have Elliot from Haunted Carousel. Ooh, I feel like, you know what, I'm gonna friend zone Elliot as well. I'm not into him that way, but I think we'd be good friends. We'd probably be real enablers for each other. We'd enable each other's procrastination, which probably isn't a good thing. But I think we could be buddies. Now we have Charlena Purcell. Charlena Purcell also going in the friend zone. I think she would be a good sugar mama. She makes those big romance novel bucks, but I don't respect the fact that she's a plagiarist, and I think her fashion sense doesn't do her any favors. That's all I say. Or lack of fashion sense, to put it more accurately. Oh, next we have Abby from Message in a Haunted Mansion. Absolute dream date. What a babe. You can spirit me away any day, Abby. You know what I mean? Oh, next we have this awful guy, Alec from Silent Spy. I just hate Alec. I irrationally hate him. He just irritates me. I know he's supposed to be like a good guy, but I don't like him. This is gonna be a lot of my opinions, by the way. I'm just like, I irrationally don't like these people. I have no reason not to like them. I just don't. Next we have Alexi from Alibi and Ashes. And Alexi, I'm swiping right. You know, again, if he had money, maybe I'd consider it, but I don't think he has money. I think he's got lots of dusty, musty antiques, which is actually in itself appealing. I said that like I don't like antiques, but I love me some antique shopping. I love going to an antique mall. All my reasons are so petty, but his voice creeps me out. I don't know what it is about his voice, but it creeps me out. It's a bit too soft, you know? It's like a serial killer type voice. He'd like end up making my blood into icing and using it to frost a cake. That's what I'm getting from his voice. Next we have Alicia from Midnight in Salem, and you know, she's a cutie. She's an attractive woman. I will admit that. Her personality, not so attractive, so swiping right on Alicia. Andy Jason, your hair looks like pubic hair, and that's gross to me. I'm getting spicy. I'm getting saucy. I don't like it. I've been trying to make my channel more family friendly recently, and then I do this list and I'm like, this man's hair looks like pubic hair, and just all that hard work has gone down the drain. Anyway, Anya from Captive Curs. Oh, I'm swiping left on Anya. She's got some really good assets, if you know what I mean. Ned, you know what? Some people would probably expect me to put Ned into blocked, but Ned isn't even interesting enough to warrant that. I'm just swiping right. I'm imagining like Ned's Tinder profile. He's got like a picture of him playing football. Pic of him with like a bunch of the boys. Pictures that just give nothing. They're absolutely flavorless pictures. You know, go on, girl. Give us nothing. That's Ned. That's Ned's Tinder profile. Isis from White Wolf Icicle Creek. You are so cute, but not in that way. Oh my god, Detective Beach, Secrets Can Kill Remastered. Jesus Christ, he's getting blocked so fast. Bez, I love you, but I feel like A lot of the main Nancy Drew characters, although, I mean, they're technically 18, but it still feels kind of weird. I did put Ned on my list, though. I think Bess is getting the friend zone, though, honestly. She's just too much like me. I feel like we're the same person, so I think we'd be like BFFs. We'd get along really well. Big Island Mike, if you watched my Taking Nancy Drew personality quizzes video, you'll know that Big Island Mike has been assigned to me as my Nancy Drew DILF. I don't agree with that. I like Big Island Mike, but I'm not sure I want him to be my DILF. They actually made it sound quite appealing in that quiz. So you know what? I'm feeling wacky wild tonight. So I'm putting Big Island Mike as a DILF in the PILF category. He's in there. Oh, and Bill Kessler, 100%. He's the ultimate DILF. Actually, I feel like he should be in Dream Date, but he fits more in this category if we're being accurate, because he is a DILF. I don't know what to tell you. He's a DILF. Brady Armstrong. How would it feel to date a famous, rich actor who many people consider attractive? I mean, I don't. I'd probably swipe left on him just to be like, wow, dating a celebrity? That could be interesting. You know, just to see what the first date was like, where he'd choose to go, how much money he'd spend on me. That would determine whether there'd be a second date or not. This makes me sound so shallow. I swear I'm not actually like this. I feel like my YouTube/streaming personality is a dramatized version of my real self. At least I like to think so. Next we have Charlie from Message at Haunted Mansion. Iron your shirt, dude. It's a bad look. I'm swiping right just because you should put in just a bit more effort if you want to catch the ladies. You know what I mean? Charlotte from Ghost of Thornton Hall. Interesting. She's a ghost. I don't know how that would work, but you know what? I'm interested to give it a try and find out. She's cute. Okay, we got Chase from Trail of the Twister. I am not chasing after this man. I am swiping right on him. Then we have Jesslyn from Ghost of Thornton Hall. Jesslyn is a bit problematic, but I'm putting her down as a MILF. Do I think she would be a kind, caring, giving partner in a relationship? No, not at all. But I think she's a hot and sexy MILF. That's my answer to that. Are these monkeys? Those are definitely monkeys. They're monkeys from Rise of the Seven Ships. They're monkeys. Okay, Carlton from Ghost of Thornton Hall. My dream sensitive man, my sensitive little baby girl. Kill me, why did I make this video? That's all I have to say about Carlton. Cuckoo, even if her consciousness was transposed somehow into a human body, I would still not date her. She is the ultimate bitch of the Nancy Drew series. Okay, Dagny babe, let's go on a date. I love your little furry hat. I love your sassy attitude. You're a sassy detective, all right. Okay, we've got this guy whose name I always forget from The Deadly Device. But the question is he Daddy Device? We've now established this question. Actually, he's not. I'm swiping right on him. He's a nasty, mean man. Debbie from Trail of the Twister. You know what? I'd swipe left on Debbie, but I probably wouldn't pursue past the first few dates. I feel like we don't get to know Debbie well enough in Trail of the Twister, so I'd be willing to get to know her a bit better before I made my final decision. I think she's pretty cute. I think she's pretty intelligent. I mean, obviously not too intelligent, because she had no idea that her co-worker that she worked closely with / boss was sabotaging their whole operation. You'd think you'd pick up on something like that after you've worked with someone for a while. But hey, I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt. Next we have Ryan from The Deadly Device. This might be controversial, but I don't really vibe with Ryan that much. I'm swiping right on her. I know most people love Ryan, but I'm not on the Ryan loving train. That train left the station without me. I was still standing on the platform when that train left. Okay, Dexter Egan. The temptation to say Dexter Egan is a gilf or maybe a dilf is tempting, but just not honest of me. I see Dexter as like a grandfatherly figure in my life. I feel like he'd give out some tough love, but he'd also be a really good at like actually giving you comfort once he's gone on his emotional journey in Treasure in the Royal Tower. I feel like Dexter's a good guy at heart. He's got a good heart under all that gruffness, you know? Okay, next we have Emily Crandall from Secret Little Clock, our little dream waif girl. How do I feel about Emily Crandall? She's a bit like a little limp handkerchief of a girl, you know what I mean? If, like, a Kleenex was a person, it would be Emily Crandall. You know what? I'd swipe left. She's cute. I don't know if we'd last, but she's cute. Hi, Ham. Would you date Yuri? Would you date Yuri? What about Suki? Maybe not, huh? Suki's a bit scary. Okay, Frosty from Trail of the Twister. I actually hate Frosty. I despise Frosty. I think most people in Trail of the Twister, but Frosty especially, he's so mean. He's just so unnecessarily mean. He's a big old bully, and I don't like that. Okay, Brenda. Yeah. Brenda from Alibi and Ashes. I'm swiping left. She is problematic. She's not a fave, but she's problematic. She's cute. I think she needs to do something about her hair. I think she thinks she's more stylish than she actually is. I feel like I could... I could fix her. I was literally about to say, I think I could teach her a few things, like empathy and style. And I realized I literally was about to say, I can fix her, but in different words. Okay, Alejandro Del Rio. Oh my god, dream date. What a swoon-worthy guy, am I right? What a suave man. Okay, I guess since we're counting the... my bedtime alarm. We're up all night to get lucky, though. You know what I mean? Since we're counting the Nancy Drew gang, if you're wondering why I'm craning my neck, by the way, my cat is standing literally in the way of my screen. I can't really see past his big head. Because we're counting the Nancy gang as adults. Even though, you know, in real life I wouldn't date an 18-year-old. But Frank, I would swipe left on. But Joe... dream date. Oh my god, Joe is like my dream man. He's dumb, he's fun, he's a good guy, he loves cheeseburgers. We have so much in common. I want to be a Hardy girl, you know what I mean? By that I mean I want to be like Mrs. Hardy. Not, that wasn't an innuendo. I swear, that wasn't intended to be an innuendo. Okay, Elizabeth from Sea of Darkness. I was swiping left on her. I don't have super strong feelings about Elizabeth. I think she's cute, but my feelings are not strong. Ellie from Deadly Device. Again, not a character I feel very strongly about, so swipe left, see what happens. I appreciate an intelligent woman who knows about science. I really admire that because I cannot conceive that myself. She would really fill in the gaps in my knowledge, I think. Okay, Fango, Mr. Scopa himself, Daddy Scopa. You know, we don't see his face. At least with Bennett, wherever she is, we do see her face. We do see a glimpse of her face, but Fango never see his face. I'm not gonna think about dating a person whose face I've never seen. That feels strange. Okay, oh, Ethel. She's a problematic fave. She'd probably be like a very distant partner. She'd never be there when you needed her. Ethel definitely wouldn't even reveal to her spouse the stuff about the Penvillain. She wouldn't tell what she was really doing up at the old Blackmore Manor. And, you know, that can either be perceived as a positive thing or a negative thing. But, you know, I think that's something you can trust your spouse with. Like, if you trust your spouse, you can give them that information. But I feel like Ethel wouldn't no matter what. And that builds trust issues. I'm psychoanalyzing these characters way more than I need to. Let's move on. This little guy, whose name I forget, I think it's like Ewan or something, from Silent Spy, another man from Silent Spy that I absolutely hate, despise, disgusting little man. Fatima, again, Fatima, I'm sorry, I never see your face, but you are going in the friend zone. Fatima also would be a super fun friend. We'd crack coconuts together, it would be a ball. It would be a barrel of laughs, a barrel of monkeys. George, dream date. George and I don't have as much in common as Joe. I'm not super athletic. I aspire to be athletic. I'm an aspiring athletic girl. I'm not currently the most athletic. I like hiking. But you know what? George could probably convince me to be more athletic. We could go to the gym together. It'd be cute. She could train me. Okay, this little guy, Gray, I think his name is, from Deadly Device. Is he Daddy Device? The answer is no. Wait, why do you go in the friend zone? I don't even want to be friends with you, sir. Who the hell is this? It's a phone contact. So no. Again, I don't see their face. Or is that, if that's Savannah, I don't think it's Savannah. Well, the background looks like Thornton Hall, but if it's Savannah, I'll say it's Savannah, in which case dream date. I know I'm breaking my rule about if I don't see a person's face, but there's something about Savannah's voice that is just so captivating and attractive to me. I don't know, I feel like to have a committed relationship with Savannah, I'd want to meet her in person. But she's got me intrigued just from her voice. She's a great storyteller, a great speaker. I adore Savannah. I hope they bring her into a game and you actually see her face. I think that would be awesome, not just in terms of my personal satisfaction, because she's just a really awesome character who deserves to be in the games more often. Next we have this little lady. Her name begins with a P, I believe. I can't remember it at this moment, which I think is a bad sign. She's definitely getting in the swipe right category. Really needs to work on her sense of style. I think if she had better hair, better clothes, better everything, but a completely new personality. Yeah, she would be more dateable. Harlan Bishop from Haunted Carousel. I'm friend-zoning Harlan as well. Again, I think we could have fun together. We'd go play all the games in the midway, but I wouldn't want to do it in a romantic way. Oh, Harper from Ghost of Thornton Hall. Interesting. You know what? I'm also friend-zoning Harper. I don't necessarily think she'd be a good friend, but I think she's too erratic for me to want to be in a committed relationship with Harper. Heather from Danger by Design. I have zero interest in Heather. I sat here for a minute trying to think of something to say about Heather. I just can't. Like, she's supposed to be this, like, fashion girly, but she's not serving. She is a conscientious objector to serving. I know I shouldn't be basing whether I want to date someone on their fashion sense. And they do say don't judge a book by its cover, but I'm judging a lot of these books by their covers. I mean, we just can't escape that in this superficial world. We're all, at least on some level, judging people by their appearance. And I feel like you can tell a lot about someone's personality from the way they dress themselves. And from the way Heather dresses herself, I'm gonna say that we do not mesh. We are not a good match. Halt Scotto. No. Halt Scotto, I think, would be a conservative. His conservative views would be loud and proud on his Tinder profile. I'm actually putting him in blocked on reflection. He'd be one of the people he'd be like, oh, look at this big fish I caught on his Tinder. Hotchkiss, you're going in the friend zone. I love you, but you're like my beloved eccentric aunt / role model. You are not my girlfriend. Scott from Trail of Twister, swiping right on Scott. I don't like how high his pants are, and I don't like him as a person either. Ooh, Ollie from White Wolf. You know, Ollie is not the ideal DILF that Bill Kessler is. But you know, if Bill Kessler were to turn me down, Ollie would be a great rebound. I do like his cowboy hat. Jacques, sexy Frenchman Jacques. You know, I'd swipe left. I'd be a bit cautious about that facial hair. I'm not sure about the facial hair, but I'd see how I felt in person. Jamila from Tomb of the Lost Queen. Don't really remember much about Jamila. I haven't played Tomb of the Lost Queen a lot either, but I'll swipe left on her. We'll see how it goes. Jenna, yes. Give me that clam chowder, babe. I feel like I made a video recently where I talked about how a woman's heart is through her stomach, and I mentioned Jenna's clam chowder and JJ's cookies, and I'm like, have I made this video already? What video was I making that I was discussing dating Jenna Devlin before? I think it was also a tier list, but I don't think I've done that how dateable are these Nancy Drew characters tier list before. So where is this memory coming from? Okay, Miles the Magnificent Memory Machine. I'm sure some people are into that. I'm not. So I guess I'm swiping right because I don't have a category for robots, for microwave ovens. There's no microwave oven category, so I'm just gonna say no to Miles. I was about to give a spoiler. I mean, it's not. Is it a spoiler to say who this man is? I'll just leave it. I'd say blocked. He's got a lot of red flags. You know, if a man is hiding his identity. You know there's something wrong there. Joseph, I'm not interested. I would like my partner to have a better work-life balance than Joseph does. Nancy's mom, I guess she's the ultimate MILF in a way. Sure, I'll give it a go with Nancy's mom. Why not? Katie Firestone, yeah. We'd have a whale of a time, me and Katie Firestone, you know what I mean? Kyler from Haunting in Castle Malloy, she's a bit drippy, but I will swipe left on her. She's a big book reader. She's a voracious learner, and I really like that. I like that in a person. So yeah, Kyler, let's go on a date. Let's go on a little coffee shop bookstore date. I think she'd be into that, and I'd be into that too. That's like dream date. Okay, Lamont from Crystal Skull, you know what? I'll swipe left on Lamont as well. He's an entrepreneur. He's got his own business. It's pretty cool. I like that he's like into kind of some weird niche, kind of eccentric things. That's my type of person, you know, because I'm also into some weird niche eccentric things, like the Nancy Drew games. Lauren from Midnight in Salem. Yeah, I'm swiping right on Lauren. I feel like I don't know enough about her personality. Maybe I just need to play Midnight in Salem more, though. Niobe from Labyrinth of Lies. She's one of those ones where I'm like, I don't know why. I can't tell you why, but I don't really like her. She gives me the ick, as the kids say, and I don't know why. She shouldn't. She's a perfectly nice woman, but just not for me. Lily from Tomb of the Lost Queen. Swiping right on Lily. I don't like her personality. I feel like I'm losing steam, but especially about these characters that I don't really know. I don't really have much to say. I'm like, I vaguely remember that I did not like Lily's personality. That's that. Oh my god, Lisa. Problematic queen. I know I said it's a red flag if someone has a false identity, and that's why Lisa's a problematic fave. She might be a bit of a sociopath. Like, I feel like she was definitely putting on her personality for Nancy, but if she could put on a nice personality for me, I wouldn't care if she was a sociopath. I wouldn't care if that wasn't a real personality. Maybe I'd care a little. Lewis Chandler. I'm gonna go so far as to block Lewis Chandler. You know what? He is a bit creepy. I don't trust him. I think I have good reason to, knowing what he gets up to in Missing in a Haunted Mansion. I think I'm valid for wanting to block Lewis Chandler. Okay, Lou Talbot from White Wolf of Icicle Creek. He's just like too much of like a bro. I feel like he'd call his girlfriend bro, and I'm not a fan of that necessarily. I'm swiping right on Lou. Speaking of Lou, here's Lulu, not into bestiality, thanks. Oh, is that Magnus from Sea of Darkness? Again, Magnus, don't really know much about him, but I'd be willing to give him a test drive. Don't read too much into that. Malachi Craven. Ooh, you know what? Malachi Craven, bit of a sugar daddy. He keeps himself well groomed. He's obviously got lots of money. He does have anger management issues, but again, I can fix him. He just needs a sweet little gal to warm the cockles of his heart, soothe his soul, you know what I mean? Someone he can spend lots and lots of money on, you know? Give me those big pineapple bucks, Malachi. They've got like some of the vendors from Danger by Design in this tier list. I really don't know anything about these people. I don't know anything about them. So therefore I'm swiping right. They'd be like the people who have like no picture and like minimal information on their Tinder. Like they'd have like a picture of a cat and you'd be like, I don't know if this is a real person or not. This might be a scam. I might be getting scammed right now. Margarita from Phantom of Venice. Tempting to put her as a gilf, but like I'd only want to do that in the sense that she was a sugar mama, but we know she's like characteristically stingy with money, so it's a no from me. Okay, Jane from Secret of the Old Clock, she's getting blocked. Don't trust that lady. See, I really want to respect Mary Yazi's relationship with Tex because I think they're a very cute couple. But if we're living in an alternate reality where all these characters are single, if I'm on like some kind of Nancy Drew like dating show and these are all the contestants, like some kind of like Bachelorette battle royale, That'd be kind of amazing. And that's what I'm imagining this as. Maybe I'll title the video Nancy Drew Bachelorette Battle Royale. In this fictional universe, Mary Ozzie is single and also a real person in real life, in the real world. And you know what? She's a dream date. She likes horses. She's soft-spoken, she's an artist, she's cute, she's a pretty lady. I feel like I have so little to say about the characters that I love, but it's like I feel like they speak for themselves. Okay, we got this little guy from Deadly Device. Is he Daddy Device? Though he's not. None of them are. No one in Deadly Device is Daddy Device. He sucks. I think he's an annoying little dweeb, and I think he's very insecure. That manifests in a very unattractive way for him. Why are there so many monkeys in this tier list? I mean, they didn't design the tier list with the idea that I was going to be saying, these characters, are they dateable or not? So they didn't envision me considering whether a monkey is dateable or not when whoever put the characters into this quiz, but I'm thinking about it. Pa. No, I'm swiping right on Pa. I don't want to get in the way of his grief. I know that I would just be like a fickle little rebound for him, and I don't feel good about that. Pa's just a bit too grandfatherly for me to want to date him in the first place. Maybe if you had more money, Pa. This is like a reoccurring theme. Maybe if you had more money, I would consider it. Maybe if you had more money and you weren't a grieving widower, I would consider it. Fiona from Haunting of Castle Malloy, she doesn't need a girlfriend. She needs therapy. Jessalyn from Thornton Hall. Ooh, Jessalyn, honestly, dream date. I love that she and her buddy, her bestie, Adeline or whatever, Abby, that they set up like that little treasure hunt together. That shows me that Jessalyn is like a fun person, and I love that. I'll be fighting over her mom, and her ex-fiance up here. They're all duking it out in the top spot. The Judge Danforth from Midnight in Salem. If this man approached me, I would for sure block him. If he approached me and said something to me, I'd pretend I did not hear. I'd pretend that I did not see him, that he was invisible and silent. Olivia from Midnight in Salem. Again, I feel like I don't know enough about Olivia, but I'd swipe left. I like that she's an entrepreneur who owns like a witchy tour guide business. I think that's pretty cool. I love her witchy style. Oh my god. Jim Money. His name's not Jim Money, but I forget his last name. Jim Archer. He's like a character who'd be like, oh my god, my wife left me. Guess I'll get on Tinder because I'm feeling sorry for myself. No thanks, sir. Also, you lost all your money in the stock market crash, so you don't even have money to your name. You don't really have any assets at all, actually. Maya, we don't get to know enough of. I'm gonna swipe left. Kiri from Shattered Medallion. Kiri's another one of those characters where I'm like, I've got nothing to say about her. Shattered Medallion, again, not a game that I've replayed often, so I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it. Other than every time I play it, I think, wow, this game is bad. This dialogue is an incomprehensible mess. Those are my main thoughts when playing Shattered Medallion. I know I'm not really thinking about Kiri. May? Sure, I'll swipe left on May. Why not? Oh, this little guy from the original Secrets Can Kill, I don't even remember his name. You know what? We don't really see enough of this guy for me to have a positive opinion on him, and what we do see gives me a very negative opinion on him, to be honest. Moira, not my cup of tea. I know I put the other vendors from Danger by Design in the swipe right category, but this is the one with the incredible booty, so I'm swiping left for that incredible booty. No monkeys, please. No monkeys. Mrs. Drake. No, swiping right on Mrs. Drake. No thank you. Wade from Thornton Hall. You know what? I consider Wade. He's a literary guy. He was talking about how he met Savannah in a bookstore. I appreciate that in a man. I feel like Wade's got a lot of depth to him. This other lady from Shattered Medallion, Kiri number 2, not interested. Oh, Deirdre. I am more inclined to ship her and Nancy than her and myself, but I do like Deirdre a lot. Nancy, I feel like dating Nancy would be like dating a clone of myself, because I'm too closely connected to her by playing her in all the games. It would feel weird. So Nancy is getting friend-zoned by me. Oh my god, Jean-Michel Traquenard. You know what? I won't block him unless he gives me good cause. But I will not swipe left on him either. Cliss Falcone, thinking about his booty. You know, if their wrecking ball stopped working, they could have used his ass to demolish the theater. It's a thing of beauty. I'll swipe left on him. I'm not super interested in his personality. Oh, this is so superficial. But I'm swiping left for that booty. Nigel? Oh, Nigel. Little Nigel. I feel like this is a common thing for Nigel. I'm placing him in the friend zone. I feel like that's a common occurrence for Nigel. Ooh, Henrik. I think we all know that Henrik is a bit of a dilf. He's not the ultimate dilf for me. That's, again, Bill Kessler. Just so you know, I want you, if you get one thing out of this video, I want you to know it's that Bill Kessler is the ultimate dilf for me. Oh, Patrick, the worst guy in Shattered Medallion. He's the one who has like most of the incomprehensible nonsense dialogue. But I'm just like sitting there like, what? I could not bear to be in a room with him for 5 minutes, so it's definitely a no. Pua, she's pretty cute. I'll swipe left on Pua. She can teach me to surf. Quigley, again, this is superficial, but I don't like her voice. It puts me off. I feel so mean. But she's not real, so I can feel okay about that. You know, maybe if she had a better personality, her voice wouldn't be as much of a factor, but she doesn't, so. Red Knot, oh my god, definitely getting blocked. I will not take any pictures for you, Red Knot, you dirty old man. I will not. Renata, no. Oh my god, Rentaro, definitely blocked. If you're looking for a red flag, just look Rentaro in the face. He's got so many. He's like the exact type of guy you would not want to date for so many reasons. Richard Topham. Ooh, I feel like Richard Topham is a guy who he acts like he has money, but he doesn't really, I think, is part of the plot of Secret of the Old Clock. So I would be tempted to call him a sugar daddy, but maybe I'll just call him a dilf. I might be in the minority with this one. I'm kind of into Richard Topham. If he got Josiah Crowley's money, I'm 100% there. Okay, Rose from Message in a Haunted Mansion. I'll just swipe left on Rose. I don't think her glasses suit her face as well as they could do. She could have like one of those makeover sequences where they take off her glasses and they're like, oh, Rose, I never realized before. You're so beautiful. Jason, this asshole from Midnight in Salem, no way. Again, another red flag of a boy. Joanna from Secret of the Scarlet Hand, again, I think she's a character who's just too much of a workaholic for it to work for us. She's married to the job. She wouldn't get married to me. Yanni Volskaya, another character with a memorably beautiful booty. But I will say, not into him. Gunnar, no, not into that either. Again, I feel like Gunnar needs his space to mourn. Oh my god, I always forget her name. The front desk gal from Shadow at the Water's Edge. She's cute, but I think she needs some time as a single woman. Oh, Dave, I think we all know where Dave's going. Ma'am, yeah, you can ma'am me any day, Dave. You know what I'm saying? Simone from The Final Scene. No. Not interested in Simone either. Actually, she's not blocked. She's not quite blocked. I'm not gonna be that harsh, but she's in swipe right. Sunny June, actually not for me either. Don't trust a man who plays that many games. Soren, I really like Soren. I know, well, yeah, I know he's a problematic fave, but I think he has a good heart underneath it all, underneath that Icelandic knitted sweater. I think he's a good guy, even though he went after Nancy with an axe. I'm making too many excuses for him. This is bad. You'd have to, like, text me and be like, Chloe, we need to talk about Soren. This cannot go on. Okay, Carson Drew. You know what? Carson Drew, sure. He can be a dilf. I'm not fully convinced. I need to see actual visual confirmation of Carson Drew being a dilf before I'm 100% on board. I'm cautiously optimistic. Okay, John Gray. I feel like a lot of these characters are just, like, they're kind of like mid for me, but I'll swipe left on John Gray. I have no reason not to. He's kind of boring, but that's not a reason to swipe left on someone. Or no, maybe it is. Or swipe right on someone, rather. I mean, maybe it is. I literally think I've said that for a few of these characters in here. I do like that his main interest is ghost hunting. I think that's pretty cool. I'd swipe left based on that alone. Grigor? No, I don't like Grigor. There's something off about Grigor. Again, he gives me the ick. Fango. Did I call someone else Fango earlier? I think this is actually Fango. No, thank you, Fango. You can Fango away. You know what I'm saying? M, the owner of M's Emporium. I'm swiping right on her too. I feel like she'd be the type of partner who'd always be asking you to do like the chores. She'd be like, oh, hey Chloe, can you wash the dishes today? Or, oh, hey Chloe, would you mind vacuuming the house? Hey Chloe, I'm sorry, I'm so tired. Would you mind going out into the woods and looking for grubs for me? I would do it myself, but I had such a day at work. Please get me some grubs. I'm over at M before it even started. Ingrid Corey? I'm here for Ingrid Corey, but I feel like Ingrid Corey would not be here for me. Ingrid Corey wants someone with more money than I currently possess. Sad? Yes. But true? Also yes. Rick is getting blocked. I don't care if he is a famous TV actor. He is the grossest, slimiest sleazeball, and 100% if Rick were real, he would have been cancelled by 2023 for some reason. He's just total creepy guy. Maybe for flirting with an 18-year-old. Millie, again, I see Millie as more of a grandmother to me. She's friend-zoned, and I think she'd be okay with that. I honestly don't think Millie would be expecting a relationship with me. She'd probably be like, oh, before we go on a date together, answer my riddles 3. Okay, Maddie from Stay Tuned for Danger. Yes, ultimate MILF energy. I love her so much. Maybe she's not the most interesting character in the Nancy Drew game. She's not the most exciting character you ever meet. But I love her nevertheless. She'd be a stable, reliable, caring girlfriend. And she's got money. Lillian. Okay, Lillian is interesting. She's my problematic fave. Unlike Maddie, she would not be a kind, reliable girlfriend. She'd be mean. She would be nasty and catty and probably even just a little bit passive-aggressive. But I don't know, she's kind of like up there with Helena for me, where I can't help but adore her. Despite the fact that she would bully me into the ground, have me sobbing on the floor, have even the tiniest, smallest mean thing, even just like the whiff of a mean comment, I would be sobbing. She's very good at what she does. Okay, Ralph, friend-zoning Ralph. Ralph is a good, reliable buddy old pal. Dwayne Powers. No! Blocking Dwayne Powers. Goodbye, Dwayne Powers. The grandmother from Shadow at the Water's Edge. I can't remember any of the Shadow at the Water's Edge names for some reason. She's not GILF material for me. Tegan from Midnight in Salem. Swiping left on Tegan. Not many more thoughts than that. I don't know what it is with the Midnight in Salem girlies. I just do not have many thoughts about them. Tex. Oh my god. Love a gruff cowboy. He might be a bit of a second resort to Dave, but better a second resort than a last resort. Thanos, this is going to be controversial. Thanos is getting blocked. I feel like Thanos would be into some things that I personally am not into. Now, I don't want to say too much here, but I feel like Thanos would not have this bottom category if he was making this tier list. That's all I'm going to say. Is that another fucking monkey? Get out of here. Tony? No, definitely not. Tony's like a mom, but not in like a hot MILF way. It would feel too much if she invited me over for dinner. Like, I'd come over after school to hang out with her child, and she was like feeding me SpaghettiOs. Henry Boulay. I feel like Henry Boulay is like the fandom's ultimate pretty boy. People love Henry Boulay, and you know, I like Henry Boulay. I don't love Henry Boulay, and you may disagree with that, but really, it's a good thing for you, because there's one less piece of competition in the Henry Boulay game. Prudence Rutherford. I haven't seen her face, really. I know that's supposed to be like a picture of her on that book, but I'm gonna friend zone her for now. She could potentially be GILF, sugar grandma material. To be determined. Fucking Matt from Haunting of Castle Malloy. I feel like Matt is like an example of a very common bad man. Well, there's nothing necessarily awful about him. Like, he's not an obvious red flag, but he's just like the type of man that if your friend was dating him, you'd be like, oh no, Oh no. You would be inwardly cheering on the demise of their relationship. I mean, he's provably not a good boyfriend. He's like, I'm off to do a little jape, Kyla. I'm off to do one of my pranks. Ho, ho, ho. Like, he's the type of guy who would, like, propose to Kyler and then be like, haha, it was all an elaborate prank, Kyler. And then actually seriously to propose to her later. He would be the person who'd, like, throw a surprise party for someone who said they didn't want a surprise party just because he loves the jape so much. He's married to the jape. Colin from Phantom of Venice. Blocked. I don't want your sausages. I don't want to look at your Tesserae slides. And the Phantom, another character we never see his face. What's his name? Like Nico or something? Nicolo? Something like that. Take off the mask, babe. Take off the mask. Then we'll see what happens. We've got some bad bitches remaining. We've got Xenia from Labyrinth of Lies. Xenia, another problematic fave. Kind of got a kick out of being at her feet at the end of Labyrinth of Lies. And we've got Zoe from Silent Spy. Zoe, I'll swipe left. I don't feel as strongly about her. She's not a problematic fave necessarily, but the interest is there. Okay, and finally we've got Yumi. I'm torn about Yumi. I feel like she'd be such a good friend. She'd be like the best friend, but I also think she's pretty cute. If she wanted to friendzone me, I honestly wouldn't mind. But if she wanted to ask me out for like a bento box date, I would also not mind. Anyway, that's my definitive would I date this Nancy Drew character or not tier list. Feel free to comment your dream date from the Nancy Drew universe, the Nancy Drewniverse, if you will, the NDU, and if not, who your dream BFF is from the Nancy Drew series. I am interested in either.